Welcome back to Born to Build the New. In today's episode, we'll be talking about how do you know that you're born to build the new? What is it beyond a sense or a feeling or an idea that you might have? So in today's episode, I'll be covering 5 different markers that all new paradigm builders have. Before we get into the details of that, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Vanessa Smith, your host and energy guide, the real creative, evolving human behind the scenes here at Born to Build the New, formerly known as Check the Energy. And the switch that we're really making here in this podcast is how to lock in your energy, your identity, and your alignment so you can become the version of yourself that your purpose work requires you to be. And as we take these episodes to do a very short deep dive into the topics that often come up for visionary builders, paradigm shifters, purpose-driven healers, teachers, messengers, and creatives, I'd love for you to reflect on what it brought up for you and how you're applying it to your life, because all of us are born with particular gifts that are suited for the new paradigm. New paradigm builders often don't fit into the old system. They find it doesn't work for them, whether that is across the board or it's specific, like not fitting into the schooling system or the typical economic job path or the healthcare system, whatever that is. This isn't one of the qualitative markers of the new paradigm builder that I'm going over, but just to give you a larger context is those of us that are born to build the new, have been on this lifelong journey oftentimes of trying to find where we fit and what our place is in the larger scheme of what's unfolding. And so as you listen to these episodes and start to reflect on where your purpose plays a part in the paradigm shift and how you can use your gifts to apply to this changing world in these transformational times, my intention is that the topics that I cover here evoke something in you that helps you better bring more of yourself to the game of your life and the larger collective shift that's going on right now. So with that being said, I'm going to jump right in to the 5 different markers that all new paradigm builders have. Number 1. The first one is there's this sense of being called. It's not just something that you have a passion around, like to shift something in the world, to be part of the change, but there is a larger driving, it's like a phrase that says, I must go in this direction. I must follow this path. And even when the path isn't clear, or even when you feel like you've fallen off the path, this larger sense of being called, that something bigger than you is calling you forward in a way that you can't ignore. And no matter what life tends to throw at you, or your own internal challenges that you come up against along the journey, you can't put it down. It must be followed through. It must be created through you. It must be completed. So there's just a driving factor of being called. I know that this is something that I have certainly felt pretty much the entirety of my life. Figuring out what my quote purpose was something that I absolutely could not let die. No matter what job I took, no matter what I majored in college, no matter how hard or challenging life got, or even also how joyful life got, no matter where the polarity swing was within my own personal experience of life, there was this larger drive of, I am called to do something here. As we start to go through our own trials and fires in life, that's the refinement process. That's where the calling starts to get clarified, where we are then able to hone in on not just the feeling of being called, but the specific direction that we are called in. Like for myself, I have often bumped up against so many different health challenges along just over the course of my whole life, right? And so I started to explore, well, that sounds like actually a really nice way to put it. I started to explore. I didn't. I felt like I felt like the bottom was falling out from under me in terms of my health. There was multiple experiences that I've had, but one in particular that was a trajectory shaper for me. And there was a period of my life where I had broken out in this really intense skin rash. I mean, it was like head to toe skin rash. And it's not funny. I mean, it's funny now, but it was not funny then. I was really scared. I didn't know what to do. I went to 5 different practitioners, both mainstream and holistic, and they each had a different explanation for what was going on with me. And I didn't know who to believe. I didn't know how to best care for my system. I didn't know how to fix it or resolve it. I just honestly was quite scared at that time. And I hadn't yet delved into the world of holistic health and alternative medicine to the degree that I have now. And so I ended up, trying out a number of different things. And in the process, some of that went really well, and some of it just really did not go well at all, following particular people's advice and who and what we put our trust in. But it was in that experience that I was able to clarify my calling. I was able to refine it even more and see that there is a very specific lean that I have around holistic health, around vitality, around being an educated consumer of the healthcare system, and also diligently wanting to create an alternative to what is the mainstream model. So going through those experiences for me were clarifiers for my own calling, which is one piece of the puzzle. And that's the most interesting thing to me about callings, is this bigger call that you feel to contribute in a certain way isn't this nice, tidy package of, oh, now I know exactly what it is. There's these different threads of our life that we weave together and we synthesize and integrate, and it may be coming from like all of these different directions, right? It draws in these different aspects of our lives, or these different ways of being, or ways of applying our gifts in the world. But when you put it all together in this more cohesive picture under the umbrella of calling, it gives your life the most colorful, vibrant expression of you, even if you've gone through a lot of hardship to get there. So being called, that is the very first one, the very first marker for new paradigm builders. When you're born to build the new, you will have this feeling of being called. Number 2, this one is about meaning. So it's not just that you feel called to do something, to create something in the world and build it. It's also that it tends to have a lot of meaning for you. So when you're born to build the new, it's not, oh, I have an idea and I just want to go do this idea and then I'm complete with it and I'm done. It's deeper than that. So you have this big expansive feeling with called, the feeling of being called. And then number 2 is you have this like very deep grounding with this sense of meaning. It brings you into your heart, your emotions. It can clear a lot of clutter with your own thoughts when something is meaningful for you. And so it has a different kind of gravity to it because it feels so close to what you value, what your standards are, perhaps where you place boundaries around. It is very representative of who you are as a person. Because when you speak to it, you have a different type of conviction. You have a different kind of emotional authority when you speak, when something has meaning for you. And we see this often. We've seen a rise of many different people creating offerings in the world that are based on their own pain, right? They turned their pain into purpose. They turned their mess into a mission or their mess into a message. And this is quite a common way for people who are walking a different path with their work in the world. It doesn't necessarily make them a new paradigm builder, though it could. What I find is it's the combination of these 5 markers that I'm going over that really anchor in this identity of a new paradigm builder or those born to build the new. So when something is very meaningful for you, it can feel so big. It can bring up a lot of emotions. It can activate overthinking, unfortunately. I'm very familiar with this one as well. And just this sense of, I really want to get this right because it's important to me. And as you start to really own how important it is to you, and you pair that with the calling, what that does is it gives you the kind of grounding that you're looking for. I think oftentimes when we want to create something meaningful in the world, we think that we can follow somebody else's template, because we just want to get it out there. I've seen this often with, to a degree with myself, but I tend to want to go in the opposite direction of whatever a template tells me to do. Like inherently, I'm just, you want me to do it that way? No, actually, I'm going to do it the exact opposite way. Thanks so much. But I've drawn a number of people to me in terms of clientele or just people that I've met that have this meaningful purpose work for them to do. They feel this calling. And they will buy, the DIY course that says, just do this, or just post consistently every day, or just, work it out in this very generic template kind of way. And that doesn't really work so well for new paradigm builders. When you're a new paradigm builder, you really got to know who you are beyond the calling and beyond the meaning of whatever it is that you want to create. You need to know who you are so you can build what you're here to build in the way that it works for you. Like whatever your natural rhythm is, whatever your way of doing things, because that's part of creating the new. That's part of how you're meant to build it is through your unique energetic signature. So that's number 2, is that it has extra meaning for you. The third marker of a new paradigm builder is there's a group component to it. And that manifests as in a number of different ways. So underneath the group component, there's just this desire or this drive to find the others. The old statement that I feel like I hear so much is, where are my people? Where are my people? And I know I've certainly felt like that for a while, and until I was able to define like who my people actually are, I felt like I dipped in and out of many, many, many different group environments looking for my people. I don't know if you've ever seen, there was a book, I can't remember the author of it. It's a little kid's book. I actually spent 8 years before I got into holistic health and did my coach training and went the path that I'm currently on. Is for 8 years I worked with children. They were age 3 to 5 year old, and so I read a lot of kids books. And my undergraduate was in child development and planning to be a teacher. So there was this book, it's called Are You My Mother? And it's about this little bird who falls out of the nest and is just kind of going through all of these different environments. Goes through a junkyard, goes through, a garbage place, I think. There were just all of these different spaces where he's looking for his mom. And so he comes up to like a dump truck. He's like, are you my mother? And he's just on this search, like, where's my mother? And I always think of that book when I think of where are my people, because there is this certain level of, or there can be a certain level of isolation when you don't feel like you fit into the old system. You don't necessarily automatically think it's because I was born to build the new. Like, there's a consciousness shift that needs to happen for you to be able to claim that identity and go, oh, I get it. I know why I didn't fit into the old. It's because I'm born to build the new. But before you hit that stage of consciousness, you're still walking through the world like, where are my people? Like, I don't fit with these people. I don't fit into this system. So what system do I fit into? And if that system hasn't been built yet, then where the heck are the other builders? Where are they? And so I always think of the Where is My Mother book, or Are You My Mother, looking for the people, because I very much felt like I went into so many different communities with that same longing for belonging, that same really wanting to be part of a space that on paper, or not on paper, online, it matched up. And you're like, oh yes, we have all these things in common, should be a match. But then the energy's off, right? Like, we know our people by feel of energy, by ease, by relatability, by just like our body relaxes when we're around the right aligned people. So there's this group component that is a marker of a new paradigm builder, where you're searching for your people as a community, as collaboration, but you're also wanting to find the others because your calling, your meaningful purpose work in the world, you want it to reach others. Like, service is a high priority for you. So some people create things in the world, like they're innovative and they create all sorts of things, but it's can be self-serving, right? Like, they're just doing it because they enjoy it. They're not necessarily doing it for the impact that it's going to have on other people. But for new paradigm builders, there's this collective component to it where you want it to impact as many people as possible. There's just an automatic, inherent drive to express these gifts out in the world, build what you're here to build, and get it to as many people as possible. Because new paradigm builders know that no matter what it is that they're building, that whatever that structure is, whatever that offering is a trigger or an activator for consciousness to change, for an awakening to take place. We know that what we do serves a larger purpose in that way. So it's not just a catchment, like being able to create a new system or a new structure to catch those that are walking away from an old system or being kicked out of an old system. but because the new system is a catalyst for consciousness. And that's very much the collective storyline that's happening right now on this larger scale. Is like we are perceiving reality and ourselves very, very differently. And we have evidence every day coming out of the old system and being shown by new systems that people are currently building that there really is another way. And we really are more than who we perceive ourselves to be. And so to have that experience outside of isolation in the group context only amplifies what our intuition already knows, is that we're in a great time of transformation. And by great, I mean expansive, like big, a big time of transformation. Not great as in like everything's great, because the last thing you're ever going to hear out of my mouth is spiritual bypassing or fake positivity. That is not my stance at all. I'm very aware that this world comes with many ups and many downs, and our job is discernment and to find our own unique middle way despite everything that is burning down and everything that is breaking through. So moving on to the fourth marker of a new paradigm builder. The fourth one is you keep returning to it over and over again, even after a pause. It's like you can't help but have the conversation about it. You could be talking to a stranger, you could be talking to a relative, you could be talking to the grocery store clerk. It doesn't matter. It's just something that is so woven into who you are that you have to keep talking about it. I find this for myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to expand my circle, or I need to start this podcast in a different direction because I can't stop talking about this, and I need to just move that energy and get it out. You just return to it over and over and over again, no matter what. So that is a marker of the new paradigm builder. And that is very much where how you're wired, how you're designed, pairs with what you are personally passionate about and pairs with your purpose work in the world. So it's at this really cool intersection of why you keep returning to the topic again and again. And the very last marker I want to highlight, there are many, many more, but I want to leave it to the top 5 for today, is that you see through the lies, not just individually, but also collectively. And what I mean by that is your intuition is amplified. Your sensitivity is, I want to say like beyond normal, but what is normal really? It's activated, it's accelerated, it's amplified. Your intuition has gotten louder, more refined, more in tune with not just what you need in any particular moment, but in tune with the larger landscape of life. So oftentimes in the past, since I've been in this intuitive field for, I don't know, over 20 years professionally, but it's been a part of who I am my entire life. In a very loud way. It's been a driving force directing me in certain ways. And I've seen my own intuition expand over time and watched it happen with others. And what I'm noticing is before, the way that intuition really worked is it acted as this alerting force, right? Like it alerts you to do not go this direction, or do go this direction. It's a very in the moment, red flag, green flag type of sensing system. But what's changed is that we now don't wait for an intuitive hit. We are just intuitive all the time. And the intuitive channel isn't just specifically for our path in the moment. It's for moving through life as a whole. And because intuition operates on a higher frequency, what that does is it allows us to see what's in front of us. Absolutely anything, whether that's the mainstream narrative, whether it is, what's going on in your own community, what's happening in your family dynamics, what's happening within your system, like our ability to tune into our own bodies and hearts and minds, and being able to decipher what is going on, what's underneath the surface. All of that has been accelerated, and we're able to see where truth is not being reflected. We're able to see who are the people with integrity. We're able to catch ourselves in our own perhaps lack of integrity or lack of responsibility, and self-correct in the moment, which is, it sounds like obvious. Doesn't everybody do that? I used to think like that around intuition. I'm like, doesn't everybody do this? But they don't. Surprise. Like it's so funny because I used to walk through the world, because these markers I've shared with you, they've always been a part of me. And I just assumed that everybody else was like that, but they're not. And so I don't know if I felt disappointment when I would learn that other people didn't operate intuitively, or other people didn't feel this big sense of calling or had this meaningful purpose work in the world. I remember there was a time in my life, I want to say it was more like late teens, early 20s, where I felt very disappointed about this. I was very disillusioned. I'm like, I don't understand why people don't feel this driving force to participate in changing the world. Like, do they not see it? What is going on? And so, everybody's on their own journey. But at this point now, we're seeing like kids having a strong sense of intuition, and we're seeing so many changes with how people operate intuitively. It's much more commonplace than when I was growing up. So those are the 5 markers of a new paradigm builder. I'm going to do a quick recap for you before we close this out. The first one is you feel called. The second one is that it is meaningful for you. The third is there's a group component. The fourth is that you keep returning to it over and over again, whatever that topic is for you. And the fifth is your intuition is massively amplified, and you're able to see through lies and know what the truth is. So those are the 5 markers of a new paradigm builder. And now I'm curious, which ones hit for you? So you're welcome to drop me a line. Let me know. And you can find my contact over on my website, vasmith.com. There's a little form you can just fill out. Let me know you listened to this podcast, which of these 5 markers felt the most like you, or if you've had a combination of all of them. And for those of you that are interested in more about locking in your energy, identity, and alignment, please go to vasmith.com/energy or /identity. And you will be taken to all sorts of courses where I go over in quite some detail everything that you need as a new paradigm builder. Take care, and I'll talk with you again soon. Thanks so much for tuning in.